seem happy this morning.
Morning, everybody. Thanks for coming in early.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local. Live from the J. Michael Studio. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hot tub! I'm full of water! I say hot tub!
I love it in the hot tub.
Pick them up,
That's right. Well, no jumping jacks today. What's going on back there?
You missed it?
I missed it.
Second hot tub!
Yeah!
Will it make me sweat? Yeah! Second hot tub! Oh, yeah! Will it make me wet? Yeah! Well.
That's got to be the greatest intro in radio. I mean, it just has to be.
Big day today, huh?
It is a big day today. Again, you are listening to the Coach James Hale Show. We apologize if your radio dial is stuck, but you're stuck with us for the next 2 hours. Brian Haddad sitting in for Coach Hale again, who is off continuing to smash the Hoover Met hot dog eating record.
Has he been inside the stadium yet? Because all I've seen are pictures from the parking lot.
Well,
he's probably sitting in the hotel.
I've been to that event. It's a party outside.
It's a party outside.
There's no doubt of that. But no, I think he's made it in. He's got one of them coveted press passes.
Yeah.
He gets the free ice cream, so I'm sure he's been in there. But no, we are here on a Thursday Coach James Hale Show, joined as always by the Thursday crew, Jeremy Pridgeon. Hello, Jeremy. How are we?
I'm doing well, Brian. You know, I wonder if he knows there's a baseball tournament going on. Because, I mean, the tailgating around motorhomes and
Alabama got beat, so he,
Look,
you know.
we didn't even get the bus unpacked.
And, of course, Tommy Santamont joining us as well. Good morning.
Good morning to you. And I think James probably thought it was a football game he was going to.
Yeah, heard Hoover.
Yeah, he bounced over to watch Hoover High spring practice. And Big Bad John hanging out back there behind the board.
I broke it.
Oh, yeah, well, probably. So, listen, today we got something really, really special in place. Going to be about 8:40. You want to make sure you're listening because today we're going to be giving away 4 tickets to go see the Atlanta Braves here on Monday, I believe. Monday, Memorial Day.
Right,
Yeah,
Memorial
we're going to be doing that.
The game is at 3:10 our time, I think, 4:10 their time, however that works.
That's one of the great Memorial Day traditions. All this baseball all day long. You know, they play the day games. You don't see a lot of that.
These, allegedly, these are good seats on the lower deck.
Very good.
So we're going to be giving that away. So make sure you're listening today at 8:40. We're going to give you the cue there, and we're going to take, I believe, the 10th caller, and we'll get that all squared away to get you your chance to go up and see the Atlanta Braves on Memorial Day. See, I've always been a big fan of Sunday, of Memorial Day weekend, because I will literally sit on my couch and I will watch cars drive all day.
Oh, good Lord.
I will watch Monaco Grand Prix in the morning. Love that. They actually turn both ways in that one. And then the Indy 500, I absolutely love the Indy 500. I'll watch that. And if I haven't fallen asleep after all that, I'm going to watch the NASCAR guys turn left for 600 miles at the Coke 600. So but it really is. It's up there with Thursday at the Masters. It's one of my, for lack of a better term, Jeremy, my holy days in sports. And,
I don't think I could sit there and watch TV that long.
Well, unfortunately, I can't.
Place long.
Yeah, I hear you.
Move.
Well, that's because you've been successful and have a life, and I will just sit on the couch and not. But I will be happy. But anyway, that's coming up at 8:40. Again, your chance to win tickets to the Braves game. Well, let's talk a little bit of local here going on. And, of course, South Walton yesterday went down, Fort Myers, where they were playing, and was going for the 4A state championship. Unfortunately, came up just a little bit short to Cardinal Gibbons there. Ended up losing 4-1. But, again, another just outstanding showing from a Panhandle baseball team. We've now had 2 runners-up, in this area. South Walton finishes the season 21-11, but what a showing for the Seahawks this year. Just a phenomenal performance. And you always want to close it out, but nothing to be ashamed about, a lot to be proud of for South Walton.
No, 2 teams playing in 4A, and you're one of them.
Yeah. Oh, boy, and is 4A something else, too, in baseball?
It really is. And, we've had the conversation. It's age-old conversation. We had Steve Moss talking about this, where 4A has kind of set the new lines where 1A used to be. And 1A, you had the private public piece until they kind of separated out the rural schools.
That's
but now
right.
it's kind of resetting around 4A again, where, Mariana and Walton and Arnold and South Walton now have to play these buzzsaw 4A private programs that are across the state. So
Good runner-up schools.
But just an unbelievable showing. Those guys really should be proud, and I mean, it was just fantastic. Something else fantastic. Talking about local athletes here, Rutherford High School had 2 athletes sign letters of intent to continue their athletic endeavors in college. Jashante Booker will be playing football at Anna Maria College. That is a Division III school. So congratulations there. And Brania Baker, I apologize if I misspelled that. Brania, I'm not sure. Baker will be playing basketball for Andrew College. That is a junior college there. So congratulations. Anytime you're able to continue on at the next level, it's impressive. But certainly in this age of where all the athletes are getting the 5th COVID year, it is extremely difficult for high school athletes to sign on and play at the collegiate level.
That is true, and congratulations. And they get a chance to further, their days, playing, which, many are playing their final games and will not play at this level, again. Kind of a neat thing happening over in Liberty County. Liberty's softball team is still alive in Class 1A, but they had graduation last night at Liberty County High School there on the football field. So these young ladies, now graduates, will board a bus and head down to the 1A state tournament there. They're going to
be something if they just walk off the bus in their cap and gown.
So Liberty will play Branford at 12:45 tomorrow in the semifinal. Another local team still alive in 1A, Holmes County Blue Devils. Their ladies will play at 11:30 against Trenton tomorrow. So 1A is getting ready to wrap up. The only Northwest Florida team still alive, but a proud program is Pace, and they're playing Bloomingdale at 3 o'clock today. So you've got 3 Northwest Florida teams in the softball side. Baseball's wrapping up. Softball's going a little bit later.
Man, I mean, what a year it's been down here for, you go back to, all the fall sports, football and cross country and swim and everything that goes on there through certainly, the soccer, and Arnold claiming not just a state title, but the national title up into the spring sports, and just how many schools that we've had involved in the state series down into the Final Fours and competing for state championships. But, I mean, not just that, just some phenomenal stories through this year in local sports.
Yeah, Mosley beating Niceville at Tommy Oliver.
Man, well, how about that? I mean, what a game.
I was at that game, that was a good game.
I mean, Arnold South Walton, standing room only doesn't even describe it. I mean, it was, just packing them all in. They're, unfortunately had to move it over to Publix, Sports Park, but still, just a wonderful event there.
Great environment. It really was.
Yeah, it was something else. We had, local athletes win swimming state championships. I know wrestling state championships.
Bozeman and Northview playing their, playoff game. I was up at that one. Hail Mary, basically 14 seconds left, to let them clinch. So there have been some great moments from some outstanding young men and women who are, competing at the highest levels. Rutherford's ladies in basketball continue to dominate. So success all the way around. And, one season getting ready to wrap up, but as soon as that game ends, it is the start of the next season.
Well, and that kind of, I'm curious to this. Tommy, you being in here, I really want to pick your brain on this. A lot of people out there think that, it's like Jeremy said, think preachers work 1 hour a week. When I was coaching, they think we work 2 hours a week. And they think teachers and administrators work 9 months a year. What a great gig, right? But just talk about a little bit, particularly coaches and administrators. Yeah, the spring sports are pretty much done here. We're almost finished. So, it's just 3 months off, right?
Right, right. But, in looking at even at school level, with athletic directors at school level, they're during the school year, they've got all kinds of sports going on. They're dealing with players, they're dealing with coaches, they're dealing with parents. So it's very difficult for them to sit down and actually plan.
That's right.
And get ready for another year. You can't do it during the school year because you already started. But that's what the summers are for. I know in my job, that's when I would review over forms, review over policies, and everything I did had to take before the board. So you had to, make sure your policies is right and the board is going to approve it. But it was a time where you could sit down and not have to chase down coaches or people calling you all the time. So it's kind of a quiet time where you can actually do some work. And of course, a lot of this you take home too, because then you really get in a quiet place. But no, it's very difficult. Athletic directors, people don't realize what's involved with an athletic director. One that actually takes the position seriously and tries to do a good job, because it's not just football, baseball, or basketball. You're dealing with everything. So that's the thing. And I know in my state organization, the Florida Interscholastic Athletic Administrator, FIAAA, they do a great job of keeping our athletic directors informed of all the things that they do. They actually got a checklist. An athletic director can get their checklist and just follow it right down the line. And it's a big help. And during the conference, we got FHSAA, all the staff is there, the commissioner and everybody's there, and they go over rules and regulations. So it's a great time, and that's done right at the first week in May. But it gives everybody a time to sit down and think about what they're going to do, because you got a plan. I mean, you can't just say, well, school starts August the 14th. Let's get it going. Yeah. But there's so many forms and paperwork. People don't realize what you got to do. There's a lot of it.
Well, and the other thing is all of the changing regulations. Some of them actually come out of Congress. Oh, yeah. Some of them come from the, State Education Association. Some of them come from the FHSAA. All of these things matter. And look, everybody's quick to jump on a coach when they get on the wrong side of some regulation. But better than even I do, and I've dealt with it, through my entity, and I still continue to deal with it. When they make a change, it isn't a one-sentence change. A lot of times it's some 15-page legalese document and all like this. And so there's all these different changing regulations and rules and deadlines and all of those things. And having an organization, like you said, that actually puts a checklist out is very, very helpful. But at the end of the day, it's really on the athletic director first and foremost. Then the coaches are involved as well.
That's why, I know we have athletic directors as baseball coaches, football, different things.
That's right.
Sometimes it's very difficult for them to get down to the conference, but getting down to the conference, when they have rules that they're going to be changing, they explain them. They go over it all. Like you say, it can be a 2-page change, and you got to interpret what all that means. They interpret and tell you what you can and can't do. So it's a good time for ADs to get down there and find out. Plus, networking is valuable. Man,
huge.
Great thing to get out there and talk to other people, what they're doing and what you might take and use in your county. And I did a lot of that. I mean, I network a lot with people down there, and a lot of my really good friends, I still deal with them down there.
I always found, like with those national conferences and things that I went to, you talk to somebody and it may not be you take exactly what they do, but it will spur you thinking about things in a different way. The other thing I always found interesting when I went to coaching conferences, it wasn't so much I learned something new, but what I would do is I would hear something I used to do, and I would be like, why in the world don't I do that anymore? Because you kind of get out of something, and a lot of times you forget. So you're right. Getting to those things is huge. I know our people are very involved in that stuff. We've had a lot of people involved with the FHSAA just in this area. Most recently, of course, Bobby Johns was very pivotal during COVID in quite frankly, saving a lot of athletics in the sport, because it looked like it may go the way of some of our northern states here. So it's certainly important to have those people involved. And I would remind everybody that teachers and administrators, they work every bit of 12 months out of the year. So.
Jim Norton's on their board right now, FHSAA School Superintendent, Gulf County. So,
that's right.
Good representation.
Well, very cool. Well, let's get into some of our sponsors here for the Coach James Hale Show. J. Michael's Restaurant, boy, they're hopping going into Memorial Day weekend here. We had the spaghetti yesterday. Packed out. I'm telling you, you got to get out there. But they have wonderful lunch specials every day. The best seafood, the coldest beer you're going to find anywhere down here is at J. Michael's Restaurant. You need to get out there and see them today. Tell them you heard about it right here on the Coach James Hale Show. Dr. Chad Mitchell. Tommy, we're coming up on his 25th year. It's amazing. Yeah. Guy's been around helping the athletes in this area. But look, you don't have to be an athlete. If you've got some kind of joint pain or any kind of issue, injury, you need to see a doctor, you definitely need to get in touch with Dr. Chad Mitchell. And then Big Bad John, again, we got a holiday coming up. We're on the wrong side of the fence with the wife. We're sleeping on the couch because we got ourselves in the doghouse. How are we going to get out of it?
Easy. All you have to do is take the wife down to David Adamson Fine Jewelry and Design. And if you want to really make her feel special, take a little a piece of pencil and a paper, and then all you got to do is have her draw something. And David Adamson Fine Jewelry can actually make a ring or a set of earrings right out of that drawing. They'll fine-tune it for you, and they'll do it all right in-house. It's an amazing process. You got to check it out. David Adamson Fine Jewelry, Highway 77 in Lynn Haven.
That sounds wonderful. When we come back on the Coach James Hale Show, we're going to talk to the new baseball coach at Mosley High School. Meet the new boss. Same as the old boss? Coming up next, Coach James Hale Show, ESPN, Northwest Florida.
See,
America's team plays here.
And a rocket to right field. This thing is into orbit.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Acuna, Ozzie, and Austin Riley lead the Braves' high-powered offense.
Swung on, belted, deep right field. Get out of here, Ozzie. Home run. Ball game.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida is sponsored by Brock's Pest Control. Store more portable buildings, reliable hydraulic solutions. Billberg Kia and Mid-South Lumber.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the Tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
Hey there, business owners. Do you feel lost in a sea of numbers, struggling to navigate your day-to-day accounting? At Lighthouse CPAs, they specialize in guiding businesses to make more money and keep more of what you make. From bookkeeping to tax planning, they've got you covered. Plus, with their user-friendly software, managing your finances has never been easier. Spend less time on paperwork and more time growing your business. Call Lighthouse CPAs 850-785-5254.
The Coach James Hale Show is live and local from the J. Michaels Studio.
Boss, I got good news and bad news. What's the bad news? Your hat's on fire.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. Coach James Hale Show here on a beautiful, beautiful Thursday in Bay County. Brian Haddad sitting in for Coach Hale, Jeremy and Tommy and Big Bad John joining us. And we have the privilege of having on the line with us the new head baseball coach at Mosley High School. He's not that new to us. I mean, we know this name here, but congratulations, Doug Lee. Doug going to be taking over the reins full-time now, also sharing duties as an AD. Coach, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great, Brian. Thank you for having me.
Oh, absolutely. So, I mean, I have to ask here, you obviously head coach at Mosley for 6 years, winning a state title, and then come back as the athletic director several years ago. And, I mean, was this ever kind of in your mind that you might, end up being the head coach at Mosley again? Or is it just kind of the way life plays out and circumstances develop?
Well, certainly was not planned. I was not, even just being the athletic director was not planned.
Sure.
I never thought I'd ever be coming back to Mosley High School in my career, but, I just feel like sometimes God leads our steps and guides our pathways, and for whatever reason, His timing is unique and sometimes hard for myself to even understand. But at this point in time, I think this is where He's placed me, and so I'm excited about our program. I'm excited about our the opportunity, and looking forward to 2025 season.
It's one of those things we always laugh about as coaches is when you get out, that itch to coach never really leaves you. And I was kind of curious, obviously, when Coach Howard left the program and you stepped in as the interim, did that fire come back immediately, when you were back out there in the dugout, or did that take a little while to develop? I'm kind of curious as to the rekindling of everything.
Well, I like to compete. I'm a competitor, and I like to compete. And I think as coaches, we're kind of born with that in us to some degree. Even taking the interim several weeks ago, or whatever, 4, 5, 6 weeks now, however long it's been. That this part was really not even on my mind. I was just wanting to get us through the season, and I know. People will speculate or have their own opinions about that, but that's the honest to God truth. Only in the last couple of weeks that, as we started thinking about the future, me and Mr. Bullock had some conversations, and he gauged my interest, and listen. There's been a lot of soul searching and praying with my own family about this because I understand. I've lived here my whole life, and I thank the world of Bay County. I'm grateful to Bay District Schools and even to Mosley High School for the time I've had previously. I love this place. I think it's important right now at Mosley that we get some Mosley people in here, honestly, that will love this program and will just do everything in their soul and power to give our kids and our players the best experience they can have on that high school baseball field.
Hey, Doug, Jeremy, good to talk with you this morning, and congratulations on the post. A couple of questions. One, what do you see that around the game itself that maybe has changed from the time that you've been your last head coach that it would be different that you're already thinking about addressing? And two, we were talking in the first segment, the next season is already underway. How do you begin to prepare for 2025 right now?
Well, I had our first meeting yesterday with our players, and that's exactly what I told them. I said we have 8 months until 2025 opens up, and you think 8 months is a long way, but it's going to fly by and it'll be here before you know it. And you think about 21 years ago. I haven't coached in 21 years. Now, I've been in the game my whole life as, the umpiring part of it in a different role. So I've been around baseball my whole life. And I think that will bring some unique, some advantages of being in that role too. But, I'd be naive to say that I don't have concerns. I've been out of the dugout for 21 years. Can I lead a clubhouse again? And I've been very honest with our administration and our committee that we had, and just said, there are concerns I have about going into it again. But as far as things change, I mean, we didn't have a lot of transfers at that point in time. And of course, people say the wild, wild west now is what we live in, and so that's something I will have to adapt to and deal with, as a coach. And you think about all the technology that's out there now and social media. We didn't have all that kind of stuff. I think I had a bag phone when I was coaching last. So, and I think that's what some of the boosters gave me, and I don't even know if I ever used it much. So there's a lot of things that have changed in the time that I've been in the dugout as a coach. And so there's a lot of technology that can help you and benefit you as a coach, obviously, especially with in the baseball arena. When you think about Rapsodo and TrackMan and all the things that they use for pitching analysis and swinging, your swing analysis. So, those are definitely things I've got to, get to work on and see what we can do to help our kids be the best version of themselves.
Will you have anything, during the summer that's kind of more team specific, or are you just letting the guys play the travel ball that they may be aligned with, or how will the summer kind of take shape?
Well, yeah, so we do have a summer plan. We have a summer schedule. We'll be in the weight room during the summer, and then we'll be playing a summer schedule through June. But, and that's another thing, the recruiting's even changed. The travel ball tool is so important for, our guys that want to play at the next level these days to play in certain events during the summer with these travel teams and get the exposure, and so that's something I've just learned in the last 3 or 4 years with my own, son kind of going through those waters and navigating that and trying to research and educate myself on that side of it too. So the summer's important for travel baseball, and obviously we're going to provide a program, and again it gets us started and getting ready to prepare for 2025.
Hey, Doug, Tommy Santamont, how you doing this morning?
I'm doing great. Good to talk to you, Mr. Santamont.
First of all, Doug, congratulations. I know as you did before, you're going to do a great job with baseball. But being an athletic director in baseball, head baseball coach, do you need another job to do?
Well, and again, we've had those conversations. First and foremost, my priority is the athletic director here. That's why I came here and was brought here to be the athletic director. And so if we can't do both, then we're going to revisit this. I'm willing to take this on, and I'm wanting to take it on. But I'm very honest with myself and my abilities and realistic. And so if I ever feel like I can't do both, then we're going to step back and reevaluate.
That's good, Doug. Doug, I know y'all have a lot of young players. What do you feel like the potential for next year as far as baseball is concerned?
Well, again, I'm excited about our players in this program. We've got a lot of young players. I know the last game of the season that I was with them, we had 3 freshmen and 3 sophomores, I think, starting. So it's a very young club this past year, and it could be possibly even younger this year. But I really believe in the next couple of years, Mosley baseball will be a team and be a program that has a chance to make some strides and make some headway back in the playoffs.
Yeah.
Hey, Doug, Jeremy again. One of the curious things of watching Mosley baseball the last couple of years has been around scheduling. A couple of years ago, you had a few home games in town, but they were kind of road warriors. Even this year, the schedule was rather brutal. You're going to have a strong hand in that. What's kind of your scheduling philosophy with baseball and the constraints Florida puts you under with the number of games and contests and in-state, out-of-state, tournaments, those things? What's your thinking around building a schedule for this particular ball team in 25?
Well, and I've been able to kind of start on that while I was as the interim, just trying to prepare for whatever direction or whatever decision was made for the future of the program. So I've kind of pretty close to being done with that. And so I'm excited about our schedule. I remember back in the day, I remember when we won it in 2002, we started the year 9-7 because we felt like we had a chance to be good at the end, but we wanted to test ourselves early in the season, and we played a brutal schedule. Just by Mosley baseball's name alone, you're going to have, it's going to be a challenge sometimes to fill it. But, I think people also know we've been kind of young and maybe young next year. So it's went very smooth right now. My biggest frustration, I think, being a coach again, currently is this, not knowing who the district is and who those opponents are, because you don't really know who to schedule right now as far as that. So that's something I wish we could get back to with the FHSA, of knowing our district opponents early enough so we could kind of schedule them during the regular season.
Well, Coach, we really thank you for taking the time with us this morning. I know it's exciting time for Mosley baseball, and like you said, Mosley baseball, boy, that name carries some weight, and real excited to have you back in the dugout full time, and look forward to another great season, not just to Mosley baseball, but Mosley athletics with you. So thanks again for joining us today.
Absolutely. Well, thank you, Brian, and Jeremy and Tommy for having me, and I appreciate all y'all do for Bay County Athletics every morning.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much. All right. Well, there he is, the new head baseball coach at Mosley High School, also the athletic director, Doug Lee. That was fantastic. Really enjoyed talking with him, and looking forward to just more continued baseball success here in Bay County. Boy, that's just something else. So really looking forward to it. How about something else I'm looking forward to, John? Rudy's Barbecue.
Oh, man, it's, let's see, it's 7:30, so they've been open up for a half an hour already.
They've probably gone through hundreds of breakfast tacos by now.
Oh, man.
And that's just for me. But anyway, absolutely love it. Breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I know our guys in the studio here with us, Tommy and Jeremy, they love them some Rudy's Barbecue.
Yes,
Jeremy,
sir.
where's your go-to now?
I'm liking the brisket there.
Yeah?
Really, that dry brisket's pretty darn good. So.
Tommy?
But I get the pulled pork every time I go.
And see, I got the turkey.
They pile it on, too.
No doubt, no doubt. So get out to Rudy's Barbecue there on Back Beach Road. Best Texas barbecue you're going to find anywhere down here. Dr. John Ward, we talked to him yesterday. A lot of stuff about the Gators. But let me tell you, we're getting into that time where everybody's getting out in the sun, enjoying everything we have to offer here on the beautiful Gulf of Mexico. But that comes with it a little bit of risk here. 1 in 5 will develop skin cancer in their lifetime. Don't end up a statistic. Make sure if something doesn't look right, doesn't feel right, make sure that you protect yourself and go meet with Dr. John Ward. If you're listening to us right now, he has a location near you. And Turf Pro Pest Control, you want that lawn looking absolutely beautiful, like one of those great football fields on Saturday, you need to talk to Pat and the crew at Turf Pro Pest Control. They'll get rid of all the unwanted insects and critters that can make your yard the talk of the neighborhood for the wrong reasons. Turf Pro Pest Control. When we get back, what a day in Hoover. The SEC baseball tournament. If you were a top seed, it was a little bit dangerous. And if you were an ice cream cone, it was dangerous for you because Coach Hale's in town. Coming up next on ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida, available on all your devices.
Connected.
Hear your favorite sports talk hosts.
The Coach James Hale Show. You're listening to Inside Drive live. The afternoon underdog.
And your favorite teams.
Braves win it!
We're live on the app. Tune in, Alexa, ESPNPC.com, Facebook, YouTube, and in your car at 101.9 and 104.3. Wherever you go, there we are. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Ellis Agency Insurance has been serving Panama City and Bay County for years. They offer a full line of affordable insurance coverage of all types. Many people are attracted to Ellis Agency Insurance because of their friendly, knowledgeable staff. Call independent agent Johnny Ellis for a true comparison of your personal or business insurance. Ellis Agency Insurance at the Old Cullen Insurance location, 1134 Harrison Avenue, across from Dandy Donuts and Deli. Call 763-1627.
Are you feeling tired, weak, or maybe you feel old and cranky? If so, I have the answer. It's Max Fit Sports Nutrition with 2 locations, 23rd Street in the Coronado Plaza and in Pier Park North on Back Beach Road. Max Fit Sports Nutrition has nutritional products and professional dietary plans to get you moving in the right direction. So get off that couch and get to Max Fit Sports Nutrition now. Max Fit Sports Nutrition, where you can try it before you buy it. Your safety and proper care of your boat in an emergency is crucial. When it comes to on-water assistance, response time is everything.
And since 1996, in the Bay or on the Gulf, it's Seato. Seato's Coast Guard licensed captains are on the scene in an average of 1 hour or less. Seato gets members home or back to boating faster. Become a member today at Seato.com or call 850-234-2323.
Welcome to It's the Coach James Hale Show.
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Live from the J. Michael Studio, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
And we are back. Coach James Hale Show on a Thursday here. Jeremy and Tommy joining us. And let's talk some SEC baseball. One of the greatest events there is. I'm telling you, I've been to it. I love it. Coach Hale now there for a second year in a row. It is a wonderful, wonderul thing. They've been really fortunate, knock on wood, hadn't had any issues with weather because it's already tough trying to get 4 baseball games in, this time of year. But with the weather, it can make it a little miserable. Yep. But so far, it's so good. So, we had 4 great games yesterday. So Tuesday was single elimination day. That's where we lost Georgia. We lost Alabama. We lost Ole Miss, which I'm going to say that again. We lost Ole Miss. We lost Ole Miss. Oh, did I say it another?
Yes. Yeah.
And then we lost Florida. So 4 teams knocked out, and then those teams moving on. Now we're into double elimination play, and the big dogs, the top 4 seeds, are in play. But, boy, you wouldn't know it based on the results yesterday. So let's get into it, fellas. First game of the morning. Might be the hottest team in the United States right now. The defending national champion, LSU Fighting Tigers. They just came off a sweep of Ole Miss last series of the year, put themselves in position to maybe make the tournament. They dominate Georgia, one of the hottest teams at the end of the year. And all they did yesterday, and if Big John doesn't cut off my mic here, I'll be amazed. They took care of Big Blue, the number 3 seed Kentucky Wildcats, 11-0.
Whoa, that hurts. That hurts.
Yeah, what's fascinating, if you look at the tournament bracket on SEC Sports here, you would think the winner's bracket sitting right where it's supposed to be, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
But they're all playing in the morning in the loser's bracket.
That's right. That's right. It's amazing because all of the top 4 teams went down yesterday. So our second game of the day, the team that I thought was in real trouble of being the odd man out going into the SEC tournament. South Carolina had lost 6 consecutive SEC games. They've been swept back-to-back weekends. They were really not looking good coming in. Then they beat Alabama, and yesterday they hold off Arkansas, who was the number 2 seed in the tournament. I think they're number 4 in the country. I mean, just unbelievable. Now, South Carolina, I think, has somewhat firmly stamped their ticket into NCAA play at this point. So 6-5, they're moving on. The third game of the day, Vanderbilt beats Florida. Florida's still on the bubble a little bit. They're still projected in the field, but we'll have to see how results do that. And their reward for beating Florida, you get the number 1 team in the country. 13-4. Yeah. They take care of Tennessee. Tennessee, I think they had come in winning like 5 straight SEC games, but wow, unbelievable. Big matchup there. That's, it may not have the same feel of a traditional rivalry, but let me tell you something. There isn't a whole lot of love lost between Vandy and Tennessee. Right. So that was a big win there. And then the nightcap, I forgot to bring my cowbell again. So, maybe John's got it queued up again, but my Mississippi State Bulldogs, who were finally back in Hoover after a 2-year hiatus, took on the Texas A&M Aggies, and it was another wonderful game. They played a great game with Ole Miss, down 1-0 into the bottom of the ninth, 2 out, hit a walk-off, Connor Husak. And then last night, we had a 3-3 tie game going into the 8th, and once again, Connor Husak, apparently running for mayor of Starkville after this, hits a 2-run single to put State up 5-3, and then Evan Aschenbach mowed down A&M in the top of the 9th for Mississippi State to advance. So all 4 lower seeds advance. So Jeremy, Tommy, here are the seeds that are in the winner's bracket. number 5, number 8, number 10, and number 11, just like everybody had it drawn up, right?
Just like you drew it up.
But if you think about it, look at the teams we're talking about. Mississippi State, 2021 national champions. Vandy, 2019 national champions. South Carolina, I think they won in 2010 and 2011.
That's right.
LSU, defending national champions. So, yeah, the seeds are low, but these aren't scrub teams, you know. So, but it's amazing because Tennessee, Arkansas, Kentucky, Texas A&M, not only were they the top 4 seeds, all 4 of them are projected in the top 5 national seeds when we get into it. So just an unbelievable day of baseball yesterday in Hoover. So today sets up with, like Jeremy showed, the morning matchups in the losers bracket are, I mean, you would think these were going to be semifinals of the tournament. We're going to start the day with Kentucky and Arkansas in an elimination game. I believe that's, I couldn't tell if it was 10:30 Eastern
10:30.
or 10:30 our time, but Kentucky, Arkansas will get us started. And then another heavyweight matchup, Tennessee versus Texas A&M. Will go off 30 minutes after the completion of the first game. Our third game of the day, LSU finally moving out of that early morning slot, which they'd been in. They're going to take on
And the
South
LSU fans
Carolina.
will like that.
Yes, they will. Yes, they will. More time to get ready, we'll say.
Yep.
And then the nightcap for the third night in a row, Mississippi State's going to close it out there, but State gets Vanderbilt in a rematch of the 2021 College World Series Championship Series. So that'll be another, maybe Connor Husak can get him another one, and he'll move up from mayor of Starkville to king of Octabaha County. But just some wonderful baseball on tap today. Again, Kentucky, Arkansas, Tennessee, Texas A&M will be elimination games. And then the winners of those games will play the losers of the final 2. The winners of the final 2 games will earn a day off.
Yeah.
And then they will play again on Saturday. So just an unbelievable lineup here in Hoover for just a wonderful, wonderful event. So, I mean, other than the surprise of the top 4 seeds going down all in one day, anything stand out in there to you guys on that?
You know, baseball is a fickle game.
Yes, it is.
And when you think you're just hitting on all strides, it'll humble you quickly.
Sure.
The other part is that, and you have to raise the question because you see this in the tournament setting. What's the advantage if you're the 1, 2, 3, 4
There
locked
you
in?
go.
Yeah.
There you go. That might be the only reason why it's not that surprising.
Right. You're playing against the wall if you're this 8, 9, 10.
Yeah.
Maybe not to get into the tournament, but maybe playing for seeding.
That's right.
Those things where the hunger in the tournament's turned up a little bit if you're in that middle of the pack.
That's right.
Though, we'll talk more about the projections for the SEC later. But when you know, okay, I might be playing my last ball game.
Yeah.
You're going to leave it all on the field. And those dynamics, I think, create some of the upsets, as well as the natural rivalries. I mean, Mississippi State playing in the tournament.
Yeah.
You look across the field, it's on.
Yeah.
So you get the Vandy, Tennessee.
Yeah.
Vandy's been, the premier program. Tennessee's flexed a little bit.
That's right.
Vandy wanted to reassert. So there are a lot of little subtleties in tournament format, which makes this a great event, just like the SEC basketball tournament. So one time you get nearly everybody in one place.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's one of those things, too, where it's, we talked about this a little bit yesterday, kind of how you approach the tournament. Yeah, it's great to save arms. I don't know a coach on the earth who ever goes into a game and says, I hope we lose. Not one. Now, your levels of upset after you lose may change based on that because, like you said, the top 4 teams are locked in. Quite frankly, I think 7 teams are locked. And at this point, I think 10 teams are locked. The one that still is a little iffy to me is Florida. I think they're in because their RPI is super strong. Their strength of schedule is number 1.
We'll talk about it in a little bit, but there's an interesting projection from D1 as to where Florida will go. I won't give it away. So.
Yeah, we will definitely get into that.
Y'all think if LSU beats South Carolina today, you better watch out for LSU. If they get rolling, they hard to deal with.
Jeremy talks about baseball being fickle. We've also seen this multiple times. Ole Miss, there was so much consternation. They shouldn't have even gotten in the NCAA field 2 years ago.
Right.
won the national championship. I think Virginia did it not that long ago.
Coastal Carolina.
Yep.
You get hot.
That's right.
And we know the talent LSU has. I mean, it was way back last year when they won the national championship. So it's one of those things. I thought that team was Florida a couple of weeks ago. Now, boy, LSU is.
You know what intrigued me about baseball? You're looking at these college baseball teams. Their pitching staff, they got a lot of pitchers.
That's right.
It's interesting when a pitcher starts out and they get a couple hits, take him out, put another pitcher in, and he just goes for the rest of the game. I mean, it's amazing how they eventually get a pitcher that kind of holds off the other team.
Yep.
And
the philosophy of that has changed.
I know.
Yeah, I mean, it really.
FSU he'll yank a pitcher out in a heartbeat. I mean, he goes through a pitching style.
Well, I mean, it used to be so much about left-right matchups and this, that, and the other. But I mean, it's just, I don't know. You're right, though. But you find something that just kind of works. And, now everything's so mental. You got to find the guy who's in the right state of mind and this, that, or the other.
Something interesting about this tournament a lot that being there and watching is you see a game play, and 30 minutes later, the next thing, watching the field staff get that field ready. That's amazing. I mean, they
pregame warm-ups. I mean, Ron Polk had his pregame down to to the second, a science. So it was unbelievable to watch. Well, looking forward to another great day of baseball in Hoover. Maybe Coach Hale will give us a call at some point here and give us an update. That is, if he's awake.
Yeah. Tell him we need about 30 minutes from him.
Well, let's head to a break here because I've stammered on long enough. We'll get to our sponsors coming back out of this, and we'll take care of FSU coming up next because got a lot going on there. You're listening to the Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
Take ESPN Northwest Florida with you everywhere you go.
Anytime, any place, anywhere.
The sports talk and live play-by-play doesn't have to end when you get out of the car. The ESPN Northwest Florida app streams your favorite sports talk hosts and the biggest games in ultra-high fidelity.
This is of utmost importance in travel.
Take the sports talk monster with you anywhere you go. Available for Android and iPhone.
Use it anywhere or any place.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Discover the new Kia during the Summer Sticker Sales event going on now at Billburn Kia. Our SUV family is built for all-in adventures and endless possibilities. Whether you're traveling on the highways or off-road, you'll do it with grace and grit. Now offering 1.9% APR for up to 48 months on the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or a new 2024 Kia Sportage. You'll get the perfect balance of comfort, safety, and technology. Billburn Kia is the home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty. Stop by and see us at 2435 East 15th Street or anytime at BillbirdKiaPanamaCity.com. Now enjoy the view this summer because the road is yours in a brand new Kia from Bill Bird Kia.
Offer from Kia Finance America for the purchase of a new 2024 Kia Sorento or new 2024 Kia Sportage with $2,165 per month per 1,000 financed and 48 months. Quantities limited. No down payment required. Cannot be combined with other finance offers. The 20-year, 200,000-mile warranty is a Bill Bird Kia warranty. See dealer for complete details. Offer for well-qualified buyers. Must take delivery from dealer stock through 7/8/24.
Hi, this is Ryan Mulvey. Join me weekdays starting at 11 for the Inside Drive. The latest sports stories, the biggest reactions, and even sports betting right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio on ESPN Northwest Florida.
Florida State, Florida State, Florida State. Woo! FSU update brought to you here on the Coach James Hale Show by Newbies, John and Charlotte. All of the fine Newbies establishments. We got 3 great ones in our area. The Mothership, well, they're going to be busy this weekend. I tell you, the best bands in the Southeast. Just a wonderful time there. Newbies 2 on the Curve. Go watch all this fine baseball and softball going on this weekend there. And look, you need to get out to the Brew and Booze, if for nothing else, to do a nice little welfare check on Glenn Manley. That's usually where he ends his night. But they do a wonderful, wonderful job there at all of their fine establishments. And make sure you thank them for sponsoring the FSU Update. Newbies! All right, Tommy, what do you got for us on the Seminoles?
Well, today we're going to talk about that small round ball.
Okay.
Whether it be baseball or softball. We're going to start with baseball because they got the ACC tournament going on. And FSU Tuesday played Georgia Tech for the third time in a row.
Exactly.
And they beat them 12-9, but it was close going in. They had an 8-1, I think, going into the 8th or 9th inning, and Georgia Tech comes back. And my roommate, Drew, Arthur Farrow, his grandson, Drew, had a great day. He had 3 hits, including a home run, but he made a key play in, I think, the 8th inning. His second baseman hit the ball to him. They had a run on first. He tags, the runner runs right by him. He switches, tags him, throws it first and gets a double play.
Oh, wow. Very cool.
I saw the replay. It was really a heads-up play for him. And, of course, they won. They do play Friday morning at 11 o'clock. They've got Virginia, number 4 seed. And, again, you know, we talked about pitching. FSU's Achilles heel is pitching. They've had a couple kids injured, pitchers, and Jeremy and I, when we went over and saw FSU play, Lee Jarrett don't mind changing pitchers. I mean, he goes through the whole pitch until he finds someone that's working. But I think I don't know how, I think pitching is going to hurt FSU. They're not going to, I don't think they're going to go very deep in the tournament, but who knows? You never can tell.
That's
baseball.
True.
Never can tell. Softball. Okay, getting softball. When they seed softball, I think there's 8 super regionals going on in softball.
That's right.
And FSU just happened to be seeded with a little team out west, Oklahoma.
I've heard they play softball there.
I heard they did too, and they do play pretty good softball. Matter of fact, their record this year is they've already lost 6 games. They're 52-6.
Yeah.
So
that's probably their worst record in 5 years too. It's amazing.
Last year there's only 61-1. Anyway, that is going to be on ESPN2 if you want to watch it. And Thursday the game, FSU goes out to Norman. They play Thursday at 7, Friday at 8, and then Saturday will be whoever if they don't get killed in the first 2 games. I mean, what's so funny? I saw a replay and they had Oklahoma. The guys at Oklahoma scouting FSU, and to listen to them, FSU's going to beat Oklahoma. I mean, they were big on FSU and their freshmen. FSU's got some great freshman players, and they were really big on them. But what was so interesting about going out, and you look at Oklahoma, and they are they are the team in softball. But anyway, Love's Field, that's that new field. They opened March the 1st, and have you ever heard of Love's? If you ever travel the interstate, that's one of the places that we always stop because they're clean.
That's
and
right.
They're good station. But they donated $12 million to that softball field. It was a $48 million field. It seats 4,200 people.
Wow.
It's the largest on-campus softball facility in America. If you ever look at it, you're talking about nice.
Yeah.
The only good thing is FSU gets to go out there and play on it.
Yeah, there you go.
And if they beat Oklahoma, then that's going to be the thing. So either way, they're going to get to play on Love's Field. And
and the Women's College World Series is in the state of Oklahoma,
that's
right, too?
That's
so
right.
at least they'd be very familiar with the state.
Yep. And Patty Gesso is the head coach there at Oklahoma, and she only makes $1.6 million a year.
How does she live?
$1.6 million. She's on a contract through 28, so she's done real well. And remember last year, starting this year, and I think it went up to March the 3rd, Oklahoma, listen to this, won 71 straight games. Now, that is phenomenal when you think about it. I don't care what it is, 71 straight games, especially in baseball and softball. Yeah. That's almost unbelievable. And ironically, they were playing the Raging Cajuns on March the 3rd. The Raging Cajuns they were 10-12.
Yeah.
And they beat them 7-5 in 8 innings to break that streak. So you never know in softball. You never know in baseball.
That's right.
But looking at this year, Oklahoma lost to Texas twice.
Mm-hmm.
They had both 2-1, both games out of a 3-game series. They lost to BYU 9-4, and Oklahoma State beat them 6-3 and 6-2. So they can be beat.
Yeah.
I mean, it's possible.
Oh yeah.
They hit the ball really well. They got some young kids too. So when you look at FSU, we know that last year they played. They had a travel when they traveled out west last year. They played Oklahoma and they lost 5-4.
Mm-hmm.
And then of course in the World Series they got beat 5-0 and 3-1. They got swept in the World Series last year. So FSU and Oklahoma's got some history, and FSU, you never know. I think it's going to be really, really tough to beat Oklahoma out there. It's just going to be hard to do because FSU, as we know, the royalty kid, the pitcher, she's out.
Yeah.
And Marquita Reese, she's been injured. So the Dantley kid is a freshman. I'm sure she's going to start, and they're going to just have to rely on Ashton Dantley to carry them through that. And when you get a freshman out there and they get in the super stadium like that, with all those, it'll be 4,200, probably 4,500 on there watching this game. So it'll be interesting how this turns out. And I think FSU's got a great opportunity to go out there and play in a really, really fine facility.
Well, and that's it. I mean, we knew this was going to be a big turnover year. They graduated a lot from a team that had been very good, multiple years, and it was very young. And there is this saying that at the end of the year, you're not freshmen anymore. But just like you said, maybe they're not freshmen anymore. This is the first time playing in this environment, and it is different when you get to regional, super regional, and certainly on to the College World Series. I mean, it is a different kind of pressure being applied, especially when you're going. But, you know what it does, Jeremy? It reminds me of the scene in Hoosiers where they walk in the big gym and he drops the tape measure and, 10 feet.
Just to help them.
15 feet and all like that. I think, I can see some of that. Look, FSU plays in a great facility. But, you walk into the biggest, most beautiful on-campus facility in the world, there's, little gaga eyes a little bit. So
absolutely.
But I'm sure Coach will have them ready, absolutely.
They better be ready.
You can't get ready for Oklahoma softball. You just can't get ready. I mean, that's it.
I personally think it'll be a 2-game series myself, but you never know.
Yeah, well, we'll give it a look. So just looking at softball, like you said, Texas is the number 1 seed this year. They get Texas A&M. Of course, that's not any kind of rivalry at all.
Yeah, right.
Alabama versus Tennessee, no rivalry there.
None.
I mean, it's like this was drawn up. By fans.
Yes.
Baylor is going to Florida. Arizona is at Oklahoma State. Georgia is playing at UCLA. We've got Duke and Missouri, and then LSU, Stanford. So we were talking about yesterday, 7 of the 16 teams are currently in the SEC. Texas and Oklahoma are coming, but then the ACC's got a couple. It's
3, I think.
And the southeast part of the United States can play a little baseball and softball, can't they?
Yeah, the biggest discussion going into the regional weekend was the 8-9 seeding because that 9 seed has to travel.
That's right.
Yep,
and that was LSU.
Yeah.
And now they have to draw the long trip.
Yeah, they ain't
west.
going across state. They're going to Stanford.
Right.
That's right.
So they go to Palo Alto, and I think it makes a difference. So we talked about it in all sports when these southern teams have to head across country.
That's why you better. The seating is very important.
Yes, it is.
It's difference between playing at your home place or having to travel out to California somewhere to play. So seating is very important.
100% true. 100% true. Well, let's talk about some more of our great sponsors here on the Coach James Hale Show. Again, want to thank Newbies for sponsoring our FSU update. How about Paparazzi Gourmet Deli? 3 restaurants in one. We know about the pizza. We know about the bakery, but boy, the deli, and they got 100-year-old recipes in there, and now they got a bar in there as well. Big John and the crew do a wonderful job. I am going to be getting me a pizza to watch all my racing on Sunday. I'm telling you right now, I think I'm going to get that Land Lover. I love that pizza. And then after that, I'm going to have to go see Jason Kovaleski at Max Fit Sports Nutrition.
God. You're not going to get a whole pizza, are you? You probably will, won't you?
Probably will, But Jason, look, I want to look better. I want to feel better. I may even want to get bigger, stronger, and faster. I'm going to go see Jason Kovaleski. He's got 2 convenient area locations, Pier Park North next to Dick's Sporting Goods and the Del Coronado Village next to Granny Cantrell's. You can try it before you buy it. He's got a wonderful staff there. They've got meal plans, the best products. You need to see Jason at Max Fit Sports Nutrition. South Oak Title and Closing. You want no hassles when it comes to closing. Go with the best. Go with the one that all the top realtors use, and that is Chuck Tucker with South Oak Title and Closing. When we get back, Alabama. There's got to be something to talk about with Alabama.
There's a few things.
Yeah, we'll come up with something. That's next. Coach James Hale Show, ESPN Northwest Florida.
This Memorial Day, 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida honors our local heroes. A Panama City native, United States Air Force Senior Master Sergeant Sherry Lynn Olds served 20 years and died in the 1998 embassy bombing in Nairobi, Africa, while serving her country. Thank you for your service and great sacrifice. 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
PLQ Port St. Joe, WGSX Lumen. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Attention homeowners, are you dreaming of a backyard oasis? Look no further than S&R Fencing, your go-to destination for quality outdoor transformations. At S&R, they specialize in crafting custom fences, decks, retainer walls, and all exterior construction that not only enhances the beauty of your home, but also stands the test of time. Their experienced team takes pride in delivering top-notch craftsmanship with a personal touch. S&R Fencing, locally owned, licensed, and insured, and a member of the BBB.
Put down your natural light. It's time for the Alabama Update. The Alabama Update, weekday mornings at 8. On the Coach James Hale Show at 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Baseball. Yeah.
Roll Tide. Roll. I was waiting on Tommy, so there we go. We got a Tide roll in there.
It's my second best team.
There you go. I figured your second best team was also Florida State, but that's all right.
No.
Alabama Update. Why are we playing a cowbell during the Alabama Update? You're about an hour late. you on mountain time? What's going on here?
Oh, I wanted to see that look on your face.
Well, you got me. I mean, I'm all, rattled and flummoxed and other words I can't spell. Alabama Update brought to you every day here on the Coach James Hale Show by Steverson Air Conditioning. Going to be that time, fellas.
It's getting that
better
way.
make sure that Steverson air conditioning is working right. And look, you call them. They are so great about getting out, helping you, making sure you don't want to wait until it's 102 degrees with 100% humidity. Get them to come out, check the unit. They're real good about, they won't upsell you. They will give you exactly what you need. If it's not time to replace it, they'll get in there, fix it for you. Make sure that you are cool and comfortable all summer long here in Florida. Steverson Air Conditioning, #1. Well, Jeremy, what's going on up on the capstone there?
Well, we're going to start with Alabama ladies softball. They are, as we mentioned in the previous segment, getting ready for Super Regional. But I want to kind of highlight the regional play this past weekend. There's a streak that's pretty remarkable when you consider the softball that Alabama's ladies hosted a regional for the 19th straight season.
That's
this past
unbelievable.
weekend. You know, I mean, you get the 16 seeds and your team has hosted 19 straight years.
Wow.
What's even more remarkable is they have advanced to the Supers 18 of those 19 years.
That's incredible. That is incredible.
You know, we talk about Saban, we talk about the football dominance, but what Patrick Murphy has done in a fickle game, you know, I mean, the lone loss was a walk-off when Hawaii was in the region and came in and defeated Alabama there.
Wow.
But 18 of 19 times when they've hosted the regional, they've won the regional. And as Murphy said, you know, if you get sent to Tuscaloosa in the regional, that's where your postseason dreams come to die.
That's a good line.
So they defended the home turf again this past weekend. There was a bit of an upset. Southeast Louisiana defeated Clemson, and that opened the regional up. It was kind of set up for Alabama and Clemson to battle it out, but Southeast Louisiana and Alabama played, and they beat USC upstate, and Southeast Louisiana moved along. But their reward for this is to get to play arch rival nemesis, that low down, dirty orange,
fake orange. Yeah, exactly.
As they head to Tennessee,
the Alabama's heading to Tennessee. Let's head to the phone lines real quick.
Okay.
I mean, let's see who has interrupted the Alabama update today.
I know.
Who we got on the line with us?
Hey, y'all make sure nobody interrupts Alabama update. Make sure Jeremy gets it done today. I didn't call him last night. What time's he going to come on?
You know, you sound like a radio host. I think I've heard your voice before.
No, I tell you what. Y'all did a great job with Doug. I heard that this morning. Good job.
Yeah, thank you.
So,
Brian, the Mississippi State Ole Miss game, unbelievable.
Oh,
Last out.
Always is.
Did you see it?
I didn't see it. I watched the highlights the next morning.
Oh,
I had to get ready to host a radio show.
He crushed it, and they win the game 2-1. Jeremy, there's more people out in the parking lot having a good time partying in between the games, and if their team's not playing, they're all kind of out there back. It's amazing how many people are here.
So have you seen?
Really tell.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah. Have you seen Michael Casagrande's article about the feral children of Hoover?
No.
Feral.
You got to see it. It's classic.
No. Well, explain it to me. What happened?
He said all of these kids who are loosely supervised, walking around with baseballs, tossing them. Said they're loosed on the Hoover Med again.
Yeah, there are a lot of kids running. I tell you what, though, man, I can't say enough good things about these people up here. The way they run it.
Yeah.
If you enjoy baseball, you'll love it.
Yeah.
I'm heading back as we speak. Bama got beat, as you were telling Alabama. They look terrible. Florida got beat. It's like all the teams that you thought were going to win, they all lost, and it's crazy. LSU, though, I'm telling you, man, LSU looks strong right now. I don't know what the problem was during the year, but they're playing pretty good right now. But the problem with them, all their games have been played in the morning.
Yeah.
And I don't like going to 9 o'clock when it's been hot. I don't know what the weather is like down there, but it's hot up here.
We were wondering if you even made it in the stadium. All the pictures you sent us is you standing out by the buses.
It was cool. We got up in there, and they've got more ice cream.
I knew it.
You wouldn't believe the food. They do a great job. I tell you what. I tell you what's pretty neat when the commissioner of SEC comes up, walks up, talks to your daughter, knows her by first name. That's pretty cool too, man. But anyway, y'all doing a great job. How's Tommy doing?
He's not here.
I know he's here.
He's hunting.
Did you do FSU yet?
Yes.
What's going on, Florida State? And that lawsuit, what's the latest with that? I heard something.
Excuse me, this is Alabama segment.
Yeah, how dare you interrupt the Alabama update with your FSU talking points here?
It's hard to keep up with the time.
I know. We're actually going to get into that probably a little bit later. Look, it's very legalese, so it's it's a little
going.
tough to follow, but I know that. It's still ongoing. Of course, then you've got to couple that with the ACC has joined the NCAA settlement case. I mean, all of college sports is being played out in the courtroom.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I just hear bits and pieces because you've been, kind of out of the loop with everything else that's going on. But Jeremy, it was weird, man. I've met with the same guys that we talked to, and one guy was, I'll be honest, I forgot his name, but he's a big wheel with AL.com. And another guy that's been following Alabama forever, we're up there talking, and the excitement about Alabama football is completely different now that Saban's not there. I mean, everybody's just kind of like, it's kind of like wait and see what you're going to get. It's some of them feel like it's just a weird feeling like this, like, I don't know. Everybody's like, I don't know.
It's been a long time.
Well, you and I both know the road trip to Madison and then the following game against Georgia, a lot of opinions will be formed.
Quickly. Real quick.
Hey, don't forget now, Gene Stallings started 0-3.
Well, I love Stallings' advice to the board. Don't start like I did.
Yeah.
Hey, real quick, one thing I forgot to tell you, Brian, and if you get a chance, do it later and maybe tomorrow. Just mention, too, that please, if you can give money to Bozeman High School and South Walton. Both those guys stuck with some big-time deals.
Yeah.
But I hated that South Walton came up short. I was really hoping they'd win it. Jeremy texted me last night, said they lose by 3.
4-1.
Yeah, 4-1 to Cardinal Gibbons,
Yeah, and what a great year for both those programs. And if you help Bozeman out, you guys help Bozeman High School, and I'm going to let y'all go, but I was sitting there driving, I was thinking, the top coaches we have in baseball in Bay County right now is probably, and Tommy knows more about than I do, but in the last 25 years, I think this is the best group of head coaches we've ever had. Doug Lee, Patton, Hudson, and you see what's going on at Rutherford, North Bay Haven. Arnold Jones, what he's done there.
South
we've
Walton.
got some great coaches, man.
True.
South Walton, it's crazy.
So I got one question for you there, Coach, before you go. So you're heading back now, correct?
Yeah, but I feel like I just don't feel right.
So you'll be here tomorrow morning? That what I'm hearing?
You're breaking up. I can't hear you guys very well. Smitty's messing with the board or something. Anyway, Brian, you're doing such a heck of a job.
Thank you, man.
I got something sweet for you. I'm going to take care of you when I get back.
Well, that's kind of scary. All right.
Far as you know. Hey, you guys have a great day. I'll talk to you guys later. Thank you.
All right. Hey.
Bye.
The great Coach James Hale actually is on the Coach James Hale show.
On location.
On location. That's right.
He's heading back to the hospitality room, probably.
I was going to say, he's probably somewhere around Clanton or Laydam right around now. But anyway, all right. Well, Jeremy, do we have anything else in the remaining time we have?
I'll go more into the regional with Tennessee, because that really is, I think, big. This has not been a year that fits the typical Alabama softball year. 10-14 in the conference this year, so kind of written off. But now they go up to Knoxville, and much like we were talking about with Oklahoma and Florida State, Murphy noted that for probably half the team, they have not played a game in Knoxville. The scheduling has just worked out in the rotation, where this year they played in Tuscaloosa, and Tennessee took 2 of 3, but they are going to be on the field today, and they get to work, and it's just those coaching details. But he noted, he said, we just want to see how the ball travels in flight. We want to walk the foul territory, get familiar with the walls, the backstops. I mean, all of those things that we know are there. But from the coaching standpoint, you have to help them understand. You can maybe get an extra base if the ball gets by, or if it's going to careen off the wall. Those odd things.
Watch the oak tree in right field.
Oh, that's right, down in Apalachicola. Yes, that's in play.
Oh my goodness,
if it hits above the spray paint, it's a home run.
Lord, you gotta love the intricacies of these ballparks.
Yes. So 3-game super regional, and it comes down to execution. I mean, the margin of error in fast pitch softball is minimal.
My goodness. And look, I gotta say, for all the years that I watched it, I mean, you'd see so many 1-0 games, the no-hitter had no value and all like that. These girls, the last couple of years, they're hitting the ball. The pitchers haven't gotten worse. The hitters have gotten better.
The hitters are catching up.
It is something else to watch. So it is just a fun game. Really looking forward to it.
3 o'clock tomorrow. 2 o'clock Saturday. If game on Sunday will be announced by the networks.
And look, it's always a good thing to win in Knoxville. So let's go, Bama.
All
right. Well, let's talk about some more of our great sponsors. Again, thanks to Steverson Air Conditioning for sponsoring our Alabama update that was rudely interrupted by some caller today as well. But also want to talk about El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill, the best Mexican restaurant anywhere on Panama City Beach, right there on Thomas Drive across from the Navy base. They got drink specials, great food specials. You will absolutely love it. El Rodeo Tequila Bar and Grill. Quorums. Tommy, talk about Quorums. I know you're a regular in there, but boy, wonderful.
I go every Monday that I'm around. Me and a couple of buddies, we always eat lunch there, and then I've got a sister-in-law that loves Quorum. So, matter of fact, we'll be taking her there probably tonight.
There you go.
We'll be there. So, it's always good. I mean, they got a wide variety. You can order just about anything you want.
Absolutely.
It's always good.
Great Southern cooking. The new one there on 15th. Of course, we've got, the original Charlie Quorum's place up on 231 Bayou George. Get out there and check them out. And look, you decide to go out on the water here on the beautiful holiday weekend. You want to have a nice day out on the water, but something goes wrong. You forgot to put gas in it. You break down. Don't be a Gilligan. What are we going to do, John?
I guarantee you that there's going to be a lot of crazies out there.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't want to go there.
But you know this probably just as well as anybody that a lot of people out there, and they can put you into some very precarious positions where you might end up on the beach or on top of their boat. But if you got a boat and you want to, make sure you and your family and your boat make it back safely to wherever you put it in the water at, you need to call Cito. They got several different yearly plans that they can protect you and your boat from any mishaps out there in the bay or out in the Gulf. From here all the way down to Port St. Joe, go to Cito.com. Check out their app. They got a really cool app. All you got to do is push a couple of buttons, and it tells them exactly where you are within just a couple of feet. And that's at Cito.com. Or you can call them locally and ask all the questions at 850-234-2323 Cito.
Don't be a Gilligan. All right, when we come back, let's get into the Auburn update, see what's going on the plains. You are listening to the Coach James Hale Show right here on ESPN Northwest Florida.
America's team plays here.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out. That's number 10.
The Atlanta Braves on ESPN Northwest Florida. Charlie Morton, Max Fried, and Chris Sale lead the Braves' dominant pitching rotation.
That's 18 up, 18 down.
Sponsored by Panama City Toyota, LS Agency Insurance, Bestway Portable Buildings, PCB Hobby, and ESPN Northwest Florida.
Got him swinging, strike 3.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus. Discover the most convenient way to buy men's clothing. Pierce Bespoke. Whether it's custom or casual, they come to you to take the hassle out of shopping. If buying off the rack doesn't work for you, let Pierce Bespoke show you how to get the perfect fit. Call Pierce Bespoke to schedule your appointment. 251-278-8270. That's 251-278-8270.
ESPN Northwest Florida. The tradition continues.
Lots of force on this one. Hello, Chop House. A 2-run homer.
Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Whoa! Eagle! Hey! You hear that thing going overhead.
Duck.
I was going to say, I mean, I think the first time John played that, I made the sound, and I got a lot of hate from my Auburn friends after that.
I bet you did.
Oh, I did. I earned it, too. Auburn Update brought to you right here on the Coach James Hale Show by Beef O'Brady's out in Lynn Haven, Pat Perno and the crew. Look, if Pat's not busy enough running a fantastic restaurant, great crew, great food. He's also city commissioner out there in Lynn Haven, does a wonderful job out there. Need to get Pat back in the studio sometime soon. But look, get out to Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven and enjoy all of the great specials that they have. TVs everywhere, but I'm telling you, the difference is their staff. They are the friendliest, nicest people in the world. They love what they do, and you will absolutely love it at Beef O'Brady's in Lynn Haven. Well, not a whole lot going on with Auburn. We were kind of talking in the break. Hasn't been the greatest athletic year for Auburn. Football team struggling, basketball team, got to the tournament and then flamed out early. Baseball.
Did win the tournament,
yeah. Baseball couldn't get, that was the thing. It was almost like they teased us.
Yeah.
Thought coming through the SEC tournament, they got on a roll, and the NCAA tournament just wasn't there.
Yeah, well, and you wonder, 4 games, 4 days, dead legs going into round one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a real fatigue question. So.
Yeah, that's right. Baseball, worst in the conference this year, didn't even make it to Hoover. I think softball, they went out in the regional, I believe. Florida State beat them out. Yeah. So it hasn't been the greatest year in the world, but look, Auburn fans, they are true to their school, and they will be back around this year. I did want to get into just a couple of things that were going on, some updates. 2 stories we talked about earlier this week. Of course, a lot of the news centered around Brian Batty, the running back who just finished his first year at Auburn after having started at South Florida. Of course, was wounded's not even strong a word. I mean, he is critically wounded in a shooting that claimed the life of his brother. And there are also several other injured people in it. Tommy remains on a ventilator, Brian remains on a ventilator. His brother Tommy passed away. Well, they have made an arrest in the case, which is good news. Daryl Bernard Brookins was arrested and charged with murder, attempted murder, and felon in possession of a firearm, amongst, I'm sure, other charges that'll be coming. But, unfortunately, another one of these cases where, you can create all the laws in the world you want, but a lot of people just don't follow them. So, felon in possession, sounds like this isn't his first rodeo with things. I still have not seen much on details maybe of what occurred. I do know it was very early in the morning.
3:30 in the morning.
Yeah, and there's that old adage, nothing good happens after midnight. So, but unfortunately, Of course, Tommy Batty has passed away. Brian fighting for his life, quite frankly, but we really hope he pulls through. Whether or not he gets to play football again, right now we're just hoping that he's able to survive and get through this. But it is good news that they have arrested and charged what looks to be at this point, maybe the lone assailant. But we will keep you updated as more information comes out. Now, on a lighter side, this does pertain slightly to Auburn. I found this a little bit funny. Of course, we all love Charles Barkley. Whether you're an Alabama fan or not, you love Charles Barkley. He's one of the most quotable people on earth.
Yes.
Since Yogi Berra, at least. But Charles Barkley, of course, inside the NBA may be going away here soon because
this
it looks
next year is the last year. So.
Looks like ESPN's getting the rights, so we're going to miss out on Chuck. But I'm sure he'll be somewhere talking. But they actually were bringing up Caitlin Clark and just the revelation that she's been to the women's game, and not just her. There have been several others as well, but certainly the boom this year in popularity. And Charles, in Charles's way, went off on what he calls, y'all women need to stop being so petty. He said, we're men, we're insecure, we're petty, don't be like us. He goes, Caitlin Clark, all she did is got y'all chartered planes and more eyeballs than you've ever had. Y'all need to leave her alone and thank her for what she's done. So I'm sure Charles is going to be getting a little hate mail as it goes in this. But it was just funny in his own way. It was kind of cutting through all of the nonsense. And I almost feel like in the 24-hour news cycle, and look, we're on a sports radio talk show, but you're filling content, you're doing things. I think you almost can talk yourself into stuff.
Well,
what in the world is there to dislike about not just what Caitlin Clark has done, but Angel Reese and Cameron Brink and Sabrina Ionescu and all of these women? The college women's basketball game, for certain, has become huge. Right. They outdrew the men this year. Right. And then the WNBA is picking up. I understand pushing for things, but, at some point, you don't shoot the horse you're riding on,
when these college kids when they got into the WNBA, Caitlin Clark especially, I've seen some video of her getting picked off on the screen, just get laid out.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, but it's tough. I mean, it's a different game, just like it is in men in all the sports.
Yeah.
You go from college to pros, it's like night and day.
Well, and that's been a wonderful thing. I knew Diana Taurasi, who's a wonderful player, has been for a very long time. Diana, she wasn't being mean-spirited. She's one of the few who hasn't, was saying, there's going to be an adjustment period. I went through it. Yeah. Sue Bird went through it. Breonna Stewart went through it. This is another level, and you see that when guys go to the NFL, when guys go to the NBA, Major League Baseball for sure. It's another level, and there is an adjustment period. Now, she goes, Caitlin Clark's a great player. She'll figure it out. But early on is going to be tough, and it has been.
Look, her number one pick. Normally, number one pick's on what? The worst team in the league. So
that's true, too.
The Fever is not one of the better teams.
That's true, too. But I've never understood that like, it's like there's gloating that she's struggling. It's like, okay.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
I mean, I get it. Yeah, it's been a big thing. And maybe, you were a LSU fan. You didn't like going out to them this year, or you felt like, which there might be something to this, that South Carolina's perfect season got somewhat overlooked in the deal. I get that.
Yeah.
But to take glee in someone...
Caitlin Clark in college, she's had a lot of assists. In college, she could get by with some of those passes she's making. And WNBA, no, she one game she had 10 turnovers.
Yeah,
but that's the difference between college game and the big league. So,
well, we always talk about it in high school. You're generally, if you're being looked at D1, you're the best player on the field, but there might be one other one out there. How do you do against that player?
Right.
And then it's the same thing in college. How do you do against that? When you get to the NBA or you get to the NFL, they're all the best players on their team. So it's tough.
Y'all did hear what Saban said, kind of tied to this recently when they were talking about the social media critics. Now, he was speaking specifically of football, but this is classic Nick Saban. He says, it amazes me that some guy sits in his basement, probably in his mom's house, probably in his underwear, probably overweight, and puts something on the internet and anybody cares what he actually thinks.
I know. Yeah, Barkley's made. I think Barkley's line on that was, "You just sitting in your grandmama's basement with your drawers on."
Yep.
I mean, it is true, and the other one I always loved is this notion that the coaches are going to listen to the fans or this, that, or the other. I'd never forget. Gene Stallings had a great line on that one. They asked him about it. Do you ever listen to your criticism and change things on it? He goes, "I learned a long time ago. You listen to the fans in the stands long enough, soon enough you're going to be sitting with them." And I always loved that line. But I love the fact that we all get to share our opinions. I mean, that's what we're doing here. Yeah. But, I've never understood the just taking pure glee in someone struggling. I've never understood that, especially someone who is a part of a group who has done so much to elevate. She's not the only one. Right. But she is a very prominent one in that.
A lot of jealousy, though. I mean, Caitlin Clark,
Sure.
I've seen a lot of women's basketball over the years, and she's the best three-point shooter. I mean, when I was talking about three-point, I'm talking about almost half court.
Yeah.
I mean, she could shoot the ball.
I'll be honest, did not get nearly enough credit for her passing.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got wonderful court vision and awareness.
She really does.
Well, that has been your Auburn/Caitlin Clark update for today. Want to thank Beef O'Brady's again in Lynn Haven for sponsoring that. Absolutely wonderful lunch specials out there. I think they had the wings yesterday. But get out there and see Pat and the crew. Tell them you heard about it right here on ESPN Northwest Florida. When we get back...
Hey, I've got a special announcement here.
All right.
Special announcement. First of all, we're coming up on our 7th year anniversary.
That's
and
right.
We have got a plethora of things that are going to be happening in celebration of that. And I want to take this opportunity. Coach Hale's not here, but he has conveyed his gratitude to you specifically and all of you guys that show up on the show and do it week in and week out. And that made us a finalist in the Best of Bay contest. This is our 7th straight year. And so congratulations to not only Coach James Hale, but to you guys as well for showing up and putting your heart and soul into this. So congratulations for that. And part of the celebration is this. Coming up in about 15 minutes, we're going to give away not 2, not 12, but 4 tickets. 4 tickets to this Memorial Day game at Atlanta. I believe we're playing the Nationals this Monday, and we are going to give somebody a chance to win 4 tickets. So that's coming up in about 15 minutes. So keep it right here, and thank you, of course.
So despite the nonsense I might spew over the next 10 minutes, make sure you keep tuned in right here to the Coach James Hale Show. You are listening to the legendary ESPN Northwest Florida.
It's the PCB Hobby Takeover with Todd. Mondays at 5:20 on ESPN Northwest Florida.
That is a very high-end card and very rare.
Todd talks about coins, trading cards, collectibles, and the amazing stories behind them.
It was the first one that's ever come through my door.
Plus, we'll be taking your calls and questions at 850-215-6290. The PCB Hobby Takeover.
A platform for you to do your hobby.
Mondays at 5:20 on the Sports Talk Monster. ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hello, this is Rick Vossen with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
Hey, Howard, what you doing up there? Listen to this story about Swampy Jack and the Swamp Ape. You know, the Florida Bigfoot. Oh, yeah, like Abominable Snowman at the Old Miracle Strip Amusement Park. No, Clyde, like the Florida Bigfoot. They call it a Swamp Ape. Right. Swampy Jack's One Go Adventure in PCB has a ride called a Swamp Ape. Like the Abominable Snowman, only turbocharged. No, I'm listening to a story on YouTube about Swampy Jack and the Swamp Ape. Right, Swampy Jack. That's his story and the reason he built his Swamp Ape ride.
Man, I love that abominable snowman. What was the song I used to ask for?
I remember you like Kickstart My Heart.
Yeah, that's it. What say we go to Swampy Jack's in Panama City and give it a whirl?
I hear he's got a mostly tame swamp ape there.
Oh, come on. You can't catch them, much less tame them. Why, they're the hide-and-seek world champion.
Swampy Jack's Wongo Adventure, 284 Powell Adams Road, Panama City Beach.
From the Vortex Springs to the Bear Paw Canoe Trail. From Shell Island to 30A. We're your home for live sports. Now back to the Coach James Hale Show inside the J. Michael Studio. ESPN Northwest Florida.
And welcome back to the Coach James Hale Show. Brian Haddad sitting in for Coach Jeremy and Tommy and Big Bad John joining us today again. About 10 minutes from now, guys, we are going to open up the phone lines to the 10th caller for your chance to win 4 tickets to see the Hot Atlanta Braves play on Memorial Day against the Washington Nationals. So make sure you stay tuned in here because we are going to give you a chance to go see the Braves. Jeremy, we had talked a little bit earlier about the SEC tournament. Well, let's get into maybe some of the projections out there for the NCAA tournament, and we expect a lot of SEC involvement in this.
Well, there certainly will be. D1, Baseball America both have projections out, and they're keeping these in real time based on what's happening in the conference tournaments. So the most up-to-date does look very favorable if you're a fan of the SEC baseball, with 6 regional hosts set to represent the conference. Tennessee in is the 1 seed, locked there in Knoxville. And the projection has UConn, Indiana, Wright State going through. And if that ended up, you can see Tennessee just blowing right through the regional. A pretty soft regional there. Mississippi State also set to host as a 15 seed. Mississippi State and Arizona, Georgia Tech, Nicholls State. Pretty solid regional there.
Yeah. Nicholls, no pushover
no
either.
pushover either. Exactly. So that's pretty tough sledding for.
Let me tell you though, the NCAA loves regionals in Starkville.
They do,
because they can pack them in.
You can pack them in. When you look at those fan bases, Georgia Tech, Arizona, Nicholls, so that would be a very interesting regional. Then College Station, also looking at a regional 3 seed projection for the Aggies, with Louisiana, Texas Christian, and Sacred Heart projected to go into Aggie land. Then Lexington gets a regional. This one's shaping up. I think this truly fits the idea of a regional that everybody would enjoy. Kentucky, West Virginia, Xavier, and Bowling Green.
So interesting.
Yes. Kind of mixing up some schools you don't normally see who are in relatively close proximity.
Say, good regional matchups, though.
Yeah. So kudos there. Fayetteville. Another regional site for the SEC, Arkansas.
Again, Vietnam, as I call it. But, okay.
Arkansas, Nebraska, Kansas State, and Arkansas Little Rock in state coming right down the road. UALR getting the shot at the big boys.
All right.
That's kind of one of those like Alabama UAB, just don't mix.
No, you don't want the little cousin coming to town.
Yeah. And then Athens also slated as a regional site with Georgia, Duke, UCF, and Florida A&M.
Duke's a good ball team.
Good ball team there. Yeah. Other SEC teams, UC Santa Barbara is slated as a 16 seed opposite Tennessee. But coming to Santa Barbara would be Oregon State, LSU, and Grand Canyon.
Okay, they have LSU going there,
That's a tight regional right there. Grand Canyon, is a solid program. Their softball team was just defeated by UCLA in the regionals, but basketball team mixed it up with Alabama. I mean, it set the game of basketball back 20 years, but
it was a good football game on a basketball
great football game. I mean, it's the most physical basketball game, but they're quietly building programs out there, kind of like Dallas Baptist has come on the scene in baseball.
Right.
So no pushover 4 seed. So LSU could go out there, and really, if LSU is hitting on all cylinders, you could see an LSU-Tennessee rematch.
Yes, you could.
Out of that West Regional. So stay tuned there. Alabama is sitting in where our basketball program usually sits, on the bubble. But they do have them going in as a 3 seed to Clemson, South Carolina, where the regional would be hosted by the Tigers, UC Irvine coming cross country to play Alabama, and then Presbyterian, the Blue Hose of Presbyterian, rounding out that regional. Florida, you talked about Florida. So this one is intriguing.
Oh, yeah.
Being sent to Tallahassee.
Oh, boy. Oh, boy.
Yeah. Florida, Southern Miss, the Golden Eagles, Florida, and Stetson.
That is a brutal regional. Brutal.
That'd be worth.
Stetson is very good.
Very good.
And they give the Florida teams fits.
FSU can't beat them.
Yeah.
And Southern Miss is very
They're
solid.
very good as well.
Yeah. And then Florida. I mean, that is.
Wow.
That is brutal.
That might be a good one to go watch.
I mean, it's like the NCAA goes, all right, we put you in. Now here's what we're going to do to you.
So that would, ticket sales would be through the roof.
Yeah, they will.
On that regional, if that one were to materialize. So, it's one thing to kind of create these SEC, ACC matchups. It's another to put your arch rival in your backyard. Vanderbilt, we mentioned Vandy. Got them going to Terre Haute. Indiana State, the Sycamores of Larry Bird fame, have built kind of a little baseball program, and the Vandy boys would be slated to go there.
Okay.
Playing Illinois out of the Big Ten, and plus however many they have these days, and Bryant. So Vanderbilt being sent north to a regional. Then last one, South Carolina, who is improving their status. They would be in the Raleigh regional with NC State, UNC Greensboro, and Fairfield.
Okay.
Yeah. So
I mean, I still can't get over that Tallahassee regional. Good gracious. I mean, that sounds like a couple of super regionals to me, but boy, wow, that'd be something. Well, folks, you've been waiting patiently for this moment. So here's what we're going to do. We are going to open up the phone lines, right, Big John? How are we going to do this?
Here's what we're going to do. Write this down on the wife's forehead there so that you'll always have this number handy. The number is 850-215-6290, starting right this minute. We're going to take caller 10. Caller 10 is going to be the lucky caller, and we will, I'll give you all the details on how you get the tickets, but you're going to win not one, not two, not three, but 4 tickets to the ball game this coming Memorial Day in Atlanta's baseball field up there. They're playing the Nationals, I do believe. So here we go. To take caller number 10 at 215-6290.
All right. Y'all get on those phone lines. We're going to keep up with this. So obviously a lot of intriguing matchups there. I'm glad to hear, because originally I think going into the SEC tournament, they did not have Mississippi State projected to host, but Mississippi State was certainly trying to play their way into it. I've been there. I think at one point Mississippi State held 8 of the top 10 on-campus attendance figures in NCAA history. I've been there when there have been 15,000 at Dudy Noble Field. It is, and look, I've often said, now it's all professional and nicely done, and thank goodness, because when I was there, the left field lounge was a slip and fall lawyer's dream.
Oh, boy.
I mean, we built these things, and we were 20 some odd years old, and there were no rails, and they were on the back of old pickup trucks. And I mean, it had character, but yeah, it was crazy. But no, look, like no other, they will pack them in Starkville. They will pack them in. If LSU found any way to host, which I don't think is in the cards, Alex Box is always packed. But you're starting to see now, 20 years ago, you had a couple of good stadiums in the country. Now you got a lot of good ones. College baseball, and this is what I wanted to get in with you guys. It very much used to be, if you were any good in high school, you got drafted and you went and got into the system. And if you were a late developer, you might be a pretty good college baseball player. Nowadays, not just with NIL, but the resources and the structure, I will argue going through the college system is a better feeder to get into the majors than going into the farm systems.
I would agree. NIL has been a game changer.
That's right.
Because you used to could sign big contracts as high school seniors and move into the farm system, even though you're traveling on the buses and going single A, all over. You had caveats in your contract beyond the bonuses and education paid for later and things of that nature. Now the collectives are such that you can get on more equal footing more quickly.
Why would you want to ride on a bus miles and miles when you can be in a college getting paid and having all those nice looking women and all those perks you get when you're an athlete?
National television.
Yeah, national television.
Just the structure around you for me. So if you go into, a minor league baseball scenario, you might be in there with journeymen who it's their last shot. They may not be all that willing to help a young guy out. Now, most of them are, but get into college, you're with people your own age. You've got the best housing, the best food, the best medical. Everything is all lined up for you, and you're getting paid.
That's right.
And look, if you're a major league, we're seeing it now. The draft is going heavy college. And these guys who are coming out of college, Paul Skeens was in the minors for, 4 months?
Right.
Yep.
Wasn't long.
Wyatt Langford wasn't even in it that long. These guys who have played in the pressure cookers of high-end D1 baseball, gone to the College World Series, major league teams know they can handle it.
They can handle it.
And they just get them in the system of being on their own a little bit, make sure they can handle, and boom, they're in the bigs. So it is such a different, I always loved college baseball. It is such a different game now than it used to be, because this is where the best truly come to play.
And see great games now.
That's right.
Yeah.
And the one piece that will pinch, I think, JUCO used to be kind of the system right outside the minor league.
That's right.
Go to JUCO 2 years and then go through. If you had somebody that was that late bloomer you're talking about. I mean, look right here at Gulf Coast, the numbers who came through that would move on. And so the JUCO was kind of quasi-farm system.
That's right. And I'll be honest, the only reason that the JUCOs, have continued on kind of the way they were was the fifth year COVID thing has kind of done things. So it'll be interesting in the way it plays out. Well, let's head to a break here, and we'll go into the last segment. Who knows what we're going to talk to? Got to stick around to find out. But you have been listening, and will continue, I hope, to listen to the Coach James Hale Show right here, ESPN Northwest Florida.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Starting Monday, June 3rd, listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Golf is a game that should be fun, but to have the most fun, you need to play your best. That's where the experts at Golf Plus come in. Their friendly staff will guide you through the buying process, answer all your questions, and can help with any repairs you need along the way. Golf Plus is your custom fitting, club repair, and golf retail shop. Golf Plus staff is non-commissioned and will work with you to find the best product for your game, just like they've been doing since 1988. Golf Plus in Dothan and Panama City Beach. Fitting, repair, retail. That's Golf Plus.
At Panama City Toyota, summer starts now. And you'll get 2.99% APR plus 90 days until you make your first payment on a new Camry. Get 2.99% on the fun-to-drive Corolla. Stand out and get 2.99% on a new RAV4. Or go bold and get 2.99% on the Tough Tundra. Celebrate summer with a great deal from Panama City Toyota.
Offer expires June 3rd. Visit PanamaCityToyota.com.
If aliens showed up tomorrow and said, "Take us to your leader," you'd bring them to the Coach James Hale Show.
Danger, Will Robinson, danger.
Live from the J. Michael Studio on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Let's hear it. This will serve two roles today. Normally, we'd be getting excited for Seminole football, but today, this means Atlanta Braves. And Big John, do we have a winner? We got a winner on the line. I believe it is Drew. You are going to be heading up to see the Atlanta Braves on Monday. Drew, are you with us?
I am. Thank you so much.
Oh, congratulations. So, you big Braves fan or just looking forward to the trip? Or
I am. I'm new to the area, so I'm taking on some local teams. The Braves will be it, that's for sure.
Outstanding. Well, you will absolutely love it. Their new ballpark, Truist Field, everything going on there. Of course, we love our Braves down here, but college sports, who you a fan of, Drew?
I'm from up north, but like I said, I'm taking on the local teams. Florida State is what I'm going to root for down here.
Well, there you go. Tommy Santamont just smiled really big for that. So,
how far north, Drew? Are we talking like Mariana, Dothan, or are we just
a little bit farther?
Yeah. Well, awesome. Well, welcome to the area, and congratulations. Thank you for listening, of course, but congratulations. And you got 4 tickets to go see the Atlanta Braves. Just make sure you bring us back a win here. We don't like them Washington Nationals, so we need a win.
No. All right. Well, thank you so much.
Drew, thank you.
Have a good one.
There we go. See, that's wonderful. Florida State fan now, Atlanta Braves fan. He's fitting in perfectly into the Panhandle. So, but thanks to everybody who called in. Again, just a wonderful event we're able to bring to you there. And like I said, we're coming up on 7 years. I'm sure it's not the last thing we're going to be doing this year.
Oh, we're going to be doing a whole lot more with the Atlanta Braves and giving away packages and giving away all kinds of swag bags and just a whole lot of stuff to celebrate our 7-year anniversary, and of course our being nominated to be in the Best of Bay Finals as well. I think that's pretty cool. So we're gonna up our game a little bit. And congratulations to Drew. I got all this information.
Awesome.
Somebody will contact him and tell him how to get the tickets. And off he goes, man.
Drew, just be careful of Coach Hale trying to horn in on that trip with you there.
Yeah,
you know, somehow you'll end up paying for dinner and everything like that. But
if James calls, hang up.
Again, though, thank you for listening, and thanks to everybody who called in. All right, Tommy, we're going to have us a little fun here.
Oh, okay.
I've been waiting for your comments on this as much as I was hoping to get Dr. Ward's and Mark McLeod's yesterday. Jaden Rashada has filed suit against...
I've heard about that.
The Gator Collective against... was it Hugh Hathcock, I think is his name, over in Destin?
Hathcock.
And then Coach Billy Napier as well over this... Who knows what to believe in this whole NIL deal? Let's say $13 million deal that kind of sort of was a deal and then wasn't and fell through but didn't, and who knows what's going on. But my issue yesterday was I don't know. There's something about, I mean, look, if you're a Florida State fan, it's a little comical, certainly. But I've got an issue with the fact that a current player can be suing a current head coach of a rival team. I just think Pandora's box is getting awful close to being opened here. But I'm just curious to your thoughts on any of this.
Well, that guy that called in about the flags blowing down from FSU in the storm, I should have said something about that, but I didn't. But I could have very easily said something. But anyway, it sounds like to me it's going to be a Trump trial. I mean, you know, if it's not going to ever go to a trial, we know that. It's going to be if anything is said and done, it's going to be somebody going to give up some little bit of money, and it's going to hopefully go away because everything's email from what they said. It's not. It's a lot of how you going to prove who said what, and it's going to be a big mess.
I think it's more lawyers testing the waters over what can happen in the future. But we've got a caller on the line that I'm sure wants to chime in on this. Who have I got on the line, John?
You got, who do we have? Travis?
Oh, I know Travis wants to talk about this. Go ahead, Travis.
Oh, yeah. So I will say this. Jaden Rashada, and if Kirby Smart signed off on it, they're both stupid. I will tell you that right now because they're not going to get a dime out of anybody.
Yeah.
Because it's all verbal.
Yeah,
it was
that's right.
all a verbal communication. Like, hey, yeah, we'll do this. And then when the paperwork came up, which is the legal binding of all the agreements.
That's right.
Jaden signed it, but the collective did not.
Right.
And him going after Napier, whose name wasn't even in the paperwork.
Yeah.
Like that, he has nothing to do with it.
Yeah.
So, and when I heard Kirby signed off on it, I was like, yeah, that's dumb.
I'm not so sure he signed off. I'm sure he probably just said, not going to tell you what to do and what not to do. So, which isn't great either. But no, I think the line I used yesterday was, look, if we're going to start having athletes sue coaches for failed promises and recruiting, that line's going to be pretty long.
Yeah.
You know?
I mean, if there were legal documents that Florida signed and then they, went back on, that's different. That's a different story.
Right.
But we're talking about some verbal communication between him and somebody that obviously didn't know what they were doing, and it fell through.
And that's, and Travis, that's one of the I guess, I'm trying to look for the right phrase here, but positive aspects of maybe it becoming more formalized and more through the schools was that you're going to start to eliminate a lot of that gray area and, for lack of a better term, misunderstandings. You got the uncle agent who's kind of involved in it. The more legal and professionalized this becomes, we hopefully will have fewer of incidents like the way this Jaden Rashada thing, because that thing just put stink on everybody. Nobody looked good coming out of this Jaden Rashada deal.
I can't believe Florida would even think about $13 million. That's I don't know how you
never stepped on the field.
That's right.
Yeah,
that's right.
That's right.
Player.
That's nobody would do that.
No.
Not even Florida.
Being good in high school and being good in college is two different things.
Right.
Sure.
Especially as a quarterback.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, he was sought after. It's not like he's a bad player, but, went out to Arizona State, played a couple games, so-so, then got injured. So we haven't seen a full collegiate, tape on him. But were you a little surprised that Georgia, who's ostensibly the number one team in the country, took a shot on him? Seemed a little weird to me.
So I'm surprised that Georgia did. I'm not surprised that he took Georgia, just like old Trevor ETN, whatever that dude's name is, that can't work for a win. He's got to
tell us how you really feel.
Get one. Yeah. Well, that's the thing. He even said it. He was like, "Oh yeah, well, I could come here and win a ring," or he pretty much said, I can come here and win a ring, or I can work for it, and I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
Well, Travis, didn't Rashada's father say that he did get $130,000, and they had to pay that back to Miami because they were going to get $9 million out of Miami?
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Which Miami's contested that number, but sure they have. I mean, if there's one school I believe would pay $13 million for a player, it's the University of Miami.
Yeah,
I think they've done it before.
Yeah. I can see them doing it.
Well, we've got our quarterback. Jaden Rashada was just a placeholder.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how I felt anyway. When he went, I was like, okay, well, we're going to suck this year, which was a possibility anyway.
Yeah.
Well, last year.
Yeah.
But we got DJ coming in, and ultimately, whoever was a quarterback last year was just a placeholder until Graham Mertz came in and showed that he's actually good.
Yeah. Travis, we appreciate it as always. We're about to head out for the day, but thanks for listening, and appreciate you calling in, buddy.
Yes, sir. Thank y'all for
Thanks, Travis.
to my rant.
Yeah, we love it, buddy.
Go Noles.
All right. Well, listen, guys, been a wonderful show today. Again, congratulations to South Walton. I know we wanted one more win, but just a phenomenal effort this year to get down to state, and Bozeman, of course, as well. And listen, we need to make sure, guys, that we're still helping these schools out. Bozeman and South Walton, it costs a lot to do this, a lot of days in hotel, travel, food. We know these kids can eat.
Yeah.
They need your help. They need your support. If you can do anything for them, make sure and contact the offices at Bozeman and South Walton and any schools who are participating on. I know we still got some ladies involved in
1A,
softball.
4A runner-ups here in Northwest Florida, and then good luck to Liberty County and Holmes County as they get ready to play in the 1A semifinals in softball.
Very quick, Jeremy at church.
All going well. First United Methodist Church, come see us, and we'll look forward to seeing you Sunday.
ESPN Northwest Florida is celebrating 7 years of broadcasting history by giving you a chance to win the Atlanta Braves 7-year send-off.
That is gone!
Starting Monday, June 3rd. Listen weekdays at 7:40, 12:40, and 5:40 to qualify for the grand prize. 2 amazing tickets in the Xfinity Club to see the Atlanta Braves Saturday, September 7th versus the Toronto Blue Jays. Plus hotel and spending cash from ESPN Northwest Florida.
Good morning. This is Joanna with your weather forecast from ESPN Northwest Florida on this Thursday. Mostly sunny this afternoon and evening with a wind around 10 miles per hour coming out of the south-southwest and a high of 84. Tonight, look for a light breeze and mostly clear skies with a temperature near 74. Tomorrow, a high around 83 and mostly sunshine. Saturday, hot with a high of 85 and mostly sunshine. This weather forecast is brought to you by Ellis Agency Insurance. Thank you for keeping that dial at ESPN Northwest Florida. Rely on it.
Hello, this is Rick Vosser with RV of Panama City, your local Stormore portable building dealer, located at 2241 East Baldwin Road. Shopping for a garage, portable building, cabin? We build them anywhere from 8 to 16 foot wide, 10 feet to 60 feet long. We can do insulation, electricity, transom dormers, thermal windows. Come, let's customize a building together. Rick Vossen, Stormore Portable Building Dealer, Panama City.
Y'all listen up. Let me tell you something about group meals from Rudy's Barbecue. It's got all you need for all the folks you gotta feed, smoked meat, sides, and more. There's everything down to the tablecloth, just like the one that you see at the store. At a bridal shower, it's better than flowers. And a long business meeting, it'll pass the hours. It'll feed all the cousins at a family function. It's better than potluck at a church luncheon. Next time you need to feed 10 or more, call and order a Rudy's group meal.
Next in line.
WGSX Lynn Haven WVLQ Port St. Joe. Powered by Panama City Toyota.
And that's out of the ballpark.
ESPN Northwest Florida.
Hi, this is Coach James Hill. Thanks again for tuning in to Coach James Hill Show this morning.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
See you soon.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
I'm out the door. Now it's time for Dan Patrick Show
And thank you for flying.
on 104.3 ESPN Northwest Florida.
Bye-bye.
Welcome to the Dan Patrick Show. You almost know what you're getting. He's just methodically great. Where Dan is joined by the 4 Danettes. Go out there and just ball. Talking to Reggie Miller, the Hall of Famer. If we went to the playground and Luca showed up and Anthony Edwards showed up, just looking at him, you had no idea anything about him.
Statistically, Luca will have the numbers. But if you're just telling me on the playground, we're at Rucker, and there they both are standing, I'm going with Anthony Edwards.
It's the NBA playoffs, and we've got to learn from it, and we got to bounce back.
Celtics and Pacers. If I said more likely to go 5 games or 7 games now.
Oh, man. You can't give games away, but to answer your questions, and I'm sorry, I would say 5.
Broadcasting from the Mercedes Man Cave, this is Dan Patrick. It's hour 2 on this Thursday. Dan and the Danettes, Dan Patrick Show. Charles Barkley will stop by. He'll answer the question or questions about the future of Inside the NBA on TNT, because it looks like it's moving elsewhere. And I wonder about this. Let's say TNT loses the NBA. They're going to have the NBA for one more year, it looks like. And then it'll go to NBC